So welcome everyone to Norwood Oval here. My name's Andrew Spurling with my partner Peter Wyatt. We are the 10th inning and we're here with game 2 of this 4-game series. Perth Heat taking on the Adelaide Bite. Another great pitching matchup. I'll quickly run through the lineups for you. David Anderson leading off, playing right field. Elliot Hargraves at centre field. Alan D. Sam Miguel catching. Michael Ullman at first base. Josh McGee third base. Matt Kennelly's DHing. Carter Bell shortstop. Aaron Bonomi second base. Sam Shipway left field. Anthony Claggett will be on the mound for the Perth Heat. For the Bite, Jeremy Criswell leading off at shortstop. Ben Lodge at left field. Stephen Welsh at third base. G-Man Choi in the lineup at first base. Ethan Paquette at centre field. Gabe Suarez is DHing. Angus Rozier right field. Chris Adamson catching. Josh Cakebread at second base. And Sonji Kim will take the mound for the Adelaide Bite. I'm lucky to have the general manager of the Adelaide Bite with me here. I'm not sure how long he's staying, but always a good time with Nathan Davison, who's going to join us and kick things off. So, Davo, great to have you with us, and all's well.
Spurl, great to be here, gentlemen. Making my debut on the 10th inning. Very exciting times.
Very exciting and a great game last night. Obviously not the result we wanted, but from a baseball perspective, just a red-hot pitching duel between Vasquez and our man Fuser, and they get the prize. Just.
No doubt playing against Perth, you have to do everything right, and we didn't really, and we knew we were up against it against Vasquez, and they also showed a lot of speed. They really were aggressive on the base pass last night, and this guy leading off to start with just flies, doesn't he? He just really gets down the line and takes any opportunity to run, so it'll be a really good matchup, and we want to get off to a good start, so let's get this first guy out.
Absolutely. So Kim just about ready to roll here to lead off Anderson. He fires one inside for ball one. He's continued to improve, Sunji Kim, and absolutely put his hand up as a genuine starter. And as I said with Fuser, just the sort of guy that you seemed a bit settled when he's up there. He's in control, and I'm not sure what his ERA is, but it wouldn't be too many. He's just a real competitor, again, not overpowering, but just a genuinely good pitcher. And on a 1-1 count, Anderson lifts one high. It's a little bit of trouble early in foul territory, but Ben Lodge ended up taking the catch like a good outfielder should to help his infielders out. First out for the Bite.
Kim's been the unlucky pitcher this year, has he? I don't think he's even recorded a result 0-0, and pitched well into that 7-inning game that ended up going 11 last weekend that we were listening online to, and against Brisbane, and he's pitched well and kept the team in it a lot and hasn't had a lot of run support, so they're going to be up against it today against Claggett again, so hopefully we'll get some run support for him early as Hargraves, I guess, comes to the plate. Young professional with the Reds. Signed Jason Hewitt out of Perth, was a scout that saw a lot of potential, and you can see it. He runs well, throws well, tracks him down really well. Pretty composed at the plate with a couple of homers already this year. A little bit of pop as well.
And as you said, there wasn't much in it last night, and you have to do everything right to win those close games, and we made a few errors, and that's made just a little change in the lineup to put Cakebread back to second base and DH Suarez. I think that's about as good as we get right at the minute.
Probably shores up the Bite's defence a little bit, and with Hargraves last night, another good night for him.
Kim just picking away outside, not being able to throw a strike at the minute to Hargraves, and he prepares and delivers again, and he gets that, chops that down onto his foot for a foul ball. Speaking to Chief Umpire Neil Polton before, who was behind the plate last night for that great pitching duel, and he said it was just a pleasure to be behind there, and neither of them really throwing with enormous velocity, but just great location of pitching and control of their craft. That's why they're a couple of class acts, and two of the better going around as Hargraves picks a walk.
A little bit of speed on the bases early to the heat, and they'll be looking to push him over. The catcher coming up, Alan D. San Miguel, very good player, played in the higher levels, actually not far off being in the big leagues, I would imagine. Good receiver, who, an honest hitter, really catches and controls the game well, and certainly one of manager Tony Harris's favourite guys on the Australian team, that's for sure, being an ex-catcher as well. Have a lot to talk about managing games and pitching staffs and why he did this, and he's a real student of the game. Straight into it, ground ball to third, 5 to 4 to 3, and then right out of inning.
So a good start here by the Bite. Get rid of the heat 1, 2, 3 in the top of the first. We'll take a short break. We'll be back with you real soon. Welcome back everyone to the beautiful Norwood Oval, home of the Adelaide Bite here. We've got our great sponsors on board for us as per usual, with Duck Air Air Conditioning and MC Sportswear, Marshall Batteries, Colts Baseball Academy, Spurling Office Solutions, page 6. Yeah, be careful. You got a couple of businesses you'd like to put out there?
Well, there's no doubt we always like to thank our networks for providing us and being our naming rights sponsor. Fantastic supporters of the baseball in Adelaide.
All about run support for any pitcher, and that's what the Bite, who really blew it open in the Melbourne Heat series a couple of weeks ago, and then we've tightened up a little bit back in Brisbane, but really need those bats to fire, and I suppose it doesn't help with losing a couple of guys with Melendres just with a slight injury, and Howard going home to get some work done on a crook elbow, and a couple of guys that were really starting to fire it up, and to miss your 3, 4, 4, 5, whatever they were, is quite a hole, but you've got to work through it. And Creswell hits a ground ball to shortstop, but Carter Belt makes a routine out. Still with Melendres back real soon, and Quincy Lattimore coming on 30th of December. And still looking around the place, trying to stop things up, or that'll be it basically.
Certainly something we'd like to focus on is the second half of our season. The last couple of years hasn't been our strongest. We've started well, as Benny Lodge steps to the plate, but we want to shore it up after Christmas. So with Lattimore back on, it's a great coup, is popular and a good hitter. Get Melendres back in place, and the bats will come around again, and we'll be stronger second half for the first time in a long time. So obviously the injuries have paid its little toll, but we got out without too much trouble last night with a couple of pitches. So we've got all hands on deck today to hopefully get to Kittredge with a lead and miss it.
McGee has a little Hail Mary at third base and gets it right in the middle of the mitt and makes a good out on a hard chopper from Lodge.
Third baseman number 22, Stephen Welsh.
Yeah, I mean, so much revolves around pitching, and with Fuser and Kim stepping up and Olsen being reliable out of the pen, and obviously a lot more arms with Mildren and Ruzic, Fidge, and etc. etc. It's yeah, just the offensive side of things to pick up a little bit.
And you can see how quickly it can change. I mean, we got a lot of runs against a reasonable pitching staff against Melbourne, and
that's gone long.
A home run.
Right field, and Stephen Welsh kicks things off with a long home run over the right field shark net out there, so that's a legit shot. He's just picked it off the bat and see you later.
That's what we've come to expect with Steph, and now he's getting his groove on again and starting to swing the bat a lot better. Got a pitch down and in the zone, and turned on it and eased it over the both fences out there into the school. Used to be the school, and 1-0 lead for the Adelaide Light.
G-Man Choi comes to the plate, and I do apologise to the Perth listeners last night that I may have intimated that he might have been trodden on from the runner, but he actually had to leave the ground to accept the ball and just had a little twist coming down, but he's back on deck, the big fella who's doing a good job for the bite.
And he's a good hitter, isn't he, Spell? We've noticed that he's patient, you know, he's got a little bit of power, goes the other way really well. He's a guy that can carry a team.
Yeah, he looks dangerous, and you know that if you made a mistake as a pitcher, you're probably more likely than not to be punished, and whether that's just a hard hit ball up the middle or whatever it might be, he doesn't miss up many opportunities, and he's a really big, strong lad. He's got a good eye. What would the immediate future hold for him, Davo, in the big world?
Well thought of in the Seattle ranks. Professional baseball, signed for a lot of money, out of career, and it's not easy to get as a hit. Wouldn't say he's still moving that well, Spell, judging by that turn at first. Probably still carrying a little bit of a sore ankle, I think, is what we worked out in the end, that he rolled it a little bit on landing, and a 2-out hit, which keeps us alive with Ethan Paquette coming to the plate, who's been a bit of a surprise package, just out locally to play for East Torrens, and filled the hole early, and certainly someone we want to hang on to. Big 6'3" right-hander, and puts a pretty impressive swing on it too. Stays inside the ball, keeps it up in the middle. All the things you like, you know, that come with a good approach.
Super impressive, and plays the outfield well. And there's a shot immediately, trying to sneak it up the middle, but well taken by Bonomi, and the quick flip the bell for a force at 2. So that completes the first tick. The Adelaide bite through a solo bomb to Steph Welsh. Take the lead, 1-0. We'll have a short break. We'll see you in a moment.
nothing really, and
Yeah, well,
Matty's here every game and all those sort of things, and Mike, without him, far out. Be a big void.
very true. We're just talking, folks, about the work that the volunteers do in every organisation, and you really tip your hat to them because they keep this going. Everything from their gate attendants to ushers and caterers. It's a big job. I don't think anyone realises how big it is to put on such a production like this. A lot of pride at stake, and with our big boss, Major League Baseball, looking over us and always looking for some positives, and I think the league's going okay.
It's okay. The key word is trending. It's got to trend the right direction, so we need to see people continue to patronise and get out here, and the volunteers are a massive part of what we do, and a big shout out to all of them. And shout out to everyone that's listening. Actually, Spell, I think we scan the globe with your dulcet tones. I get fantastic reports from London to all through the US, with obviously the imported players that we have, parents and family and loved ones listening in, especially this time of year in the middle of the night.
Yeah, exactly. What would it be there at the moment if we're at 4 o'clock? It would be 1:30 in the morning or something. Mr. Fuser, Mike Fuser, could tell us, the poor old devil, he's beat up most times, and he was saying last night that the almonds were also tuning in. So
midnight in New York now, Spell.
Midnight in New York, eh? What a great thing it is, and as we've always said, a real pleasure for us to sit at the top of the stand, and we could think of no better things to be doing than watching a ball game, and we're able to bring it to you in the best way that we can. Obviously still giving a huge amount of pluses to my partner in crime in Peter Wyatt, who all the production and all the improved software and the camera, etc., things that not so much taken for granted but not really thought of in the big equation. And well, there's a shot by Ullman. He rips it around the corner down the left field line. Lodge right in the corner takes it, trying to prevent him from two, but Ullman stands up for a double.
Haven't seen a lot of that young man, but really good battle like that behind 0-2, and fouled a couple off and got one that he could handle. Had a bit of a dirty night last night. Hit a line drive late in the game, but got a lead-off runner on second base, and as we welcome Josh McGee to the plate, I'm sure he'll be looking to get something middle in and get the guy to third base with one out, so they get a chance to drive it in.
That's exactly what they did last night, and ended up scoring from it, and it was a crucial run, and he's ripped that to right field. Rose is going back on the ball, but that also hit the top of the fence and went over. So there's a 2-run bomb to McGee, something that Kim hasn't really been used to, treatment such as that. So it'll be interesting to see how Sonji settles and comes back. And the game at the moment all about the long ball. Single shot to the bite, and a 2-run bomb courtesy of Josh McGee to the Perth Heat to give him a 2-1 lead. Top of the second.
That's baseball, isn't it, Spell? Give him the opportunity. You're probably focusing a little more on where he's got to put the pitch and the runner on second, and leaves one out and over the plate for the guy to extend his arms and hit it to that shortish part in right field over the small fence. And they still all count the same. He's in the book for a 2-run shot, and we're going to go back to work with none out with Matt Kennelly, professional baseballer with the Atlanta Braves, one of the 4 Kennelly boys that are playing professional baseball at the minute. Fantastic achievement. Their dad was a professional golfer.
So something to be in the blood. That's just incredible. And seeing the boys from 10 years ago, I suppose, grow and develop and always have their names sort of touted as potentials, and to see them all go on with the job. I mean, 4 brothers playing professional baseball was just something quite amazing.
great thing about it is they're all good guys, and they know their place, and they play hard, and they've all got a chance to make the big leagues. Oh wow!
A little flare into centre field on a broken bat shot by Carter Bell, but it's a line drive in the book.
Don't have to paint a picture, do you, Spell? That's in the book as a line drive smash to centre. As Steph Welsh returns the majority of that 34-inch bat back to the bat boy.
I think both sides, after being stitched up by some good pitching last night, had a good night's sleep and were pretty keen to come out and swing the bats today, and already very early in this game, but a lot of aggression being shown by all hitters. And ultimately that's the sorts of things that happen, little flares and little nuffy infield shots and all sorts of things. If you're swinging your bat, things can happen. If you're tense and taking, not much will happen, as Bonomi fouls that ball off.
Good day for hitting too, Spell. High sky and nice and bright, and last night's sort of twilight start at 7 o'clock is really difficult, and you'll probably see that in the first couple of innings of every 7 o'clock game we have here. A couple of funny looking swings of people that haven't quite picked their ball up, and here it definitely advantaged the hitters in these day games, no doubt about it. Good breaking ball by Kim, a little bit low, but they come out swinging and they think it's a whole new ball game. The ball's a bit bigger and they can see it, which obviously a lot easier when you're hitting, isn't it? Particularly against quality guys. Certainly not missing a lot of barrels at the minute. Bell looks pretty toey over there, like he wants to get moving. Oh, that's a good throw. Interesting, you do not see that every day, Spell, but boys need to wake up a little bit. A little bit of communication could probably help. Left-handed hitter shielding the runner who took off, and the catcher came up out of his crouch. Luckily the pitch got called, but Bell will be kicking himself. Would have made it to second. A little bit of a high one, wasn't it?
Well, that's the thing when we play with such multiculture here, that G-Man Choi may have been saying no, but it may have been interpreted differently. It's one of those amazing things that these boys need to do, to mix and learn with different cultures and experience and language barriers. Still a great thing, truly international league, and continue to have players signed out of this competition. So it's a pretty hot day here. We were expecting anywhere between 36 and 39, and we're probably stretching into the hottest part of the day. So Kim just looks a little bit jaded out there at the minute. There's another one lifted just semi off the handle and just got it over the top at shortstop for a base hit to Aaron Bonomi.
Being very generous, Spell. I think he got it between the thumbs. Not that much off the hands, but again, balls in, first and second, one out. Up to bat, Sam Shipway, late replacement for Corey Adamson on the roster.
We were asking about Corey last night. What's the story there? Is all okay, or?
Yeah, not 100% sure of what the injury is, but I know that he was a late replacement, and they'll always be a little tentative with their professional guys. I think this time of year it's their time to get fit for spring training, as much as it's a professional league that they want to play in and get some at bats. They need to be healthy, and so they're undermanned. Without him and Hughes, I think Adamson's been their best hitter on the year, and Hughes is their biggest threat at all times with his major league experience. No better time to get him. And interestingly enough, that Vasquez will only be here for another couple of weeks as well. He's signed with the Twins recently and will be going back on their instruction to get ready for spring training. So we do play him again at the end of the year, so it's not such a bad thing that we won't get to face him, because I think the numbers suggest we haven't won too many games out of our last 15 or 16 against them. And we'll just see, no matter who they throw out there, they've got such a good culture, the Heat, and They're always at you, and they're never beaten. So it's just a really well-run team, and they've got great leadership in their coaching staff and on their senior players. And it's a great lineup to come into, I'd imagine, and inherited Steve Fish has done this year and doing a very good job letting them go play baseball.
Oh, and that ball just was clipped along the right field line and just worked its way foul. There's a bit of good luck for the bite there. The runners on first and second. That would have been a sprint for home.
Fair to say, Choi at first not offering probably the biggest coverage at the minute with the little injured ankle that he's got. So if you watch that ball whistle past and wishing it foul, and came true.
So with one out here, top of the second inning, there's a slider from Kim that outside. It's well ahead of the count. 1-2 count, now 2-2.
Great setup you got here, Spurl, with the booth you've set up and the information that you're providing to the listeners and the people who are viewing the coverage. Johnny doing a great job, and Pete, of course, as always. All of us looking for a ground ball to shortstop. Oh, looks like he was off. Just those little things in the game, Spurl, that take the pitcher's attention away from his primary role, which is getting the hitter out, and things that Perth do well.
Yeah, it was just so noticeable right from the get-go last night that they just had a real desire to be aggressive on base, and they just kept running, and they rattled Zach a little bit, even though he got a couple of pick-offs. And I'm sure that as a professional pitcher, holding runners is an absolute must. As again, he tries to get that out to right field, but just fouls it into the Heat bullpen.
Again, a good battle from the 9-hole, I think we're up to, and you know, that's what they're about, is to make the pitcher work. He's sort of out in the sun and first and second, and 4 or 5 pitch at bat with a few foul balls. Keep fighting them off long enough to either get to the heart of the order or get something that you can handle.
Yes, good teams just tend to have the ability to do this. Whether it's something they talk about or whether it's just something that manifests, but the runners have gone, and the wonderful athletic Greg Jelks is the first base coach there.
Great to see Jelksy back involved and on the field. You can just tell how happy he is when he's on the baseball field. I mean, he's a happy guy anyway, but he just loves being involved with baseball, and he'll sit and talk all day and night about what's going on around the league and within his team and just within baseball, and his opinions on it. And he's played in the major league, so they don't give those tickets away, do they, to anyone? So good catch by Kate Brad at second base. A short hop would have proved interesting then, Spurl, with the runners having to hold up in that situation. It might well have been a double play, or indeed created some confusion, I would imagine.
And again, another one off the fist that just seemed to hang in the air forever, and from here it just didn't look like he was quite going to get there, but he really made his last play at it perfect and just picked it before it hit the turf. So 2 out. It's Kim. Tries to get a slider over, but he's thrown a lot of pitches in this inning. He'll be looking to have a good rest and hope he can come back stronger, but he's got more important things at hand at the minute as he fires a pitch inside for strike 1. Every day's a different day, and from a pitcher whose job is to go out there and be relentless and maintain velocity and effort and energy, just to have to butter up every time. It might seem like it's not that hard, but take great dedication and fitness, and obviously just no little niggles with the arm. You just have to do everything right. So Kim from the set, delivers, runners go again. They go to second and they got him cold. So they ended up getting runner Bonomi stealing at second, and that retires the heat. They hold a 2-1 lead. We'll be back here for the bottom of the second real soon.
The bottom of the second innings, Adelaide Bites coming in.
So welcome back everyone. Anthony Claggett delivers a first pitch ball to lead off Gabe Suarez, bottom of the second inning. Big fella delivers again and muscles in a fastball to strike one. Another big boy, have to be 6'5" or something, Claggett.
Massive unit, isn't he?
It was a shot up the middle, but just straight to centre field Elliot Hargraves.
Sometimes better to be lucky than good, isn't it, Spurl? No one hit it straight at him on the nose.
Angus Roger.
Regardless of anything, I know we play this game to win and the Holy Grail is the ultimate, but just to see guys like Roger and Ben Lodge and, you know, still Josh Coatbread and Jeremy Creswell continue to develop and get older, and it's a great thing. So this is where we're at here in Adelaide, with perhaps not being as lucky as the other states with regards to full list of playing professionals. We've got to work hard. Recruiting has to be on the money, and then the players must unite together and make things happen. And slowly but surely it's been happening for the Biters. Claggett nips the outside edge. And again, from the wind-up delivers, and Roger just chops that onto his foot.
Everybody clap your hands.
A foul ball. So we reset here. Claggett again from the wind-up, delivering to Roger. He swings through a change-up, strike three.
The catcher, number 30, Chris Adamson.
How you're settling into your role, Nathan? Obviously taking on the general manager role at the Adelaide Bite. That's quite a responsibility. And how's it all going at this early stage?
It's certainly we're building, you know, and as I said before, the key word's trend, and we want to make sure that we've got all the right things in place, and it's really going to be our last crack at it. And the league's been very thorough in making sure that we've covered a lot of what has to be covered in order to make the league work.
3 up, 3 down. We move along now to the top of the third innings. Perth have a 2-1 lead.
Yes, and you know, the sponsorship dollar and the times we're in and everything that you're confronted with to make this a place where corporates can come and enjoy the night. And I've only heard good things about the innovations that you've continued to do with the Shark Tank and trying to reach to some more corporate people.
As much as we probably don't like to hear it either, there's still some encouraging signs when you hear people say, when is the game on and where do you play and is there baseball in Adelaide? It means there's still groups of people and areas and demographics that we haven't really got across, but there's a lot of great numbers that support the fact that, you know, participation's up by 26% nationally, meaning at the grassroots level we're starting to get people again more interested in the game, and to create some heroes with these guys and have guys say when they're at their local club games with their Bite hat on saying, I want to play for the Adelaide Bite, the professional team in Australia, and that's what used to happen, and it's what we're trying to make happen again. And the players are on board, everyone's on board, and you know the plans are in place and they're all set. We just need to continue to work hard, and there's no doubt that as lucky as we are to be working in baseball, that one of the main things is the hard work required, getting the bums on seats and getting on the phones and talking to people and making contacts and making sure that the people do know that they can come out here and have a great corporate night out, and it's not going to be anywhere near the price that you're going to pay at the football or the cricket and whatever it may be, and you get close to the action. Baseball is just such a unique sport without a time limit on it that you have so many opportunities to access the people within the game, and the players are accommodating that aren't playing, even guys in the game. You can have a quick word to them, not that it's the norm, but I've really bought into it, and that's our biggest asset, the players, and the fact that we can get out there and you can see after the game, a 2-1 loss last night, we had a couple of hundred people lined up to sign autographs and what have you, and create sort of that hero status. As much as the players are disappointed they lost, people have paid good money to get in here and support the team, so they have to show them that support in return and come out and talk to them, and they've done that.
No, look, I think professional sport is changing, and we're all probably still living from 10 years ago with loyalty factor, etc., still strongly embodied in us, but it's just changing. There's no sentiment now. You play as a professional organisation, people have to come together. No doubt your player selection, etc., is extremely important, but as that ball again is knocked along the right field line, but foul. So here we are sitting 30-odd thousand kilometres away from the United States and expecting clubs to send guys out here, and very difficult to control them and just keep in touch with them and know what's happening. So great faith in people like yourself and the coaching staff to know that their players are in good hands and they're developing and what they want. So Amberson chops that onto the plate for another foul ball.
There's no doubt too, Spell, we can't take anything for granted in baseball. We've been lucky enough to be given an opportunity again in our lifetime to have this National League up and running, and we need to, as cliched as it may be, make every post a winner, and every little interaction and people that we talk to and get involved with this game has to be made a winner. We need to talk to corporates and make sure they're out here. We need to talk to fans, and you know, simple things like greeting them when they get here and saying goodbye to them when they leave, and offering the right sort of merchandise and not just any merch and at an affordable price, and all those little things are taken under consideration whenever we make a decision.
Got a little email directed at you here, Nathan, so you
Oh, fantastic. It's great to see some of our overseas friends contributing to the show. Mr. John T. Cryle from, let me just see where you're from, John. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
He loves the Pittsburgh players. He's been on to us before. As that ball's torn into centre field. In fact, that makes a superb diving catch at centre field. So we robbed Hargraves of a hit there.
Elliot will have to go back and talk to those guys that just chinked him over the infield and just ask them what the secret is. But John, to answer your question, we're very excited to have Quincy come back there's no doubt he had a cult following almost when he was here, and that was primarily because, as Spell said earlier, he had a smiley face whenever he came out and he played well. He hit some home runs in an effortless manner, oftentimes it felt like. And he's definitely a welcome, and we spoke about it during the break in the second inning, was that he is going to add that little bit of punch to our lineup with Melendres coming back shortly as well. And there are a couple of guys that are a chance to change the score every time they walk into the batter's box. And he runs well, he plays good left field, he throws the ball well. He's pretty much got every tool you need to make it to the big leagues, and that's what it's going to be all about in the end. Is it won't be long till we're seeing guys that have again played for the Adelaide Bite in the last 2 or 3 years making their way onto big league clubs. We saw Beckman have a little bit of time in a pre-season, as John might have seen that pre-season game at the Pittsburgh Stadium. I think Brandon Maurer from a couple of years ago is on the 40-man roster as it stands. Foul ball from Desan, and right into their living room over there in right field. Still always happy. I'm sure the residents will be watching the stream, if not looking out the window there.
Wave to us if you are.
Yeah. As they're dialing the window repairman. But no doubt Quincy's going to be fantastic to have back, and just going to complement our lineup. You obviously need offense, defense and pitching. You need to run the base as well, but he'll do a little bit of all of that other than the pitching, of course. And he's a guy that we will welcome back with open arms, and I'm sure that there'll be a little bit of press on it, and hopefully fans will come along and see him play live. If not, watch it on the 10th inning.
Absolutely. You're a great friend of ours, John, and even if it is 30 degrees with 2 inches of snow where you are right at the moment, hope you're enjoying things, and always stay in touch with us. Thanks again.
2 outs here in the top of the 3rd inning. Kim battling away in the heat of the day. And you're right, Spell, the field's come up a treat. I'm sure the viewers at home can see the great job the groundsman's done in the manicured turf that we're playing on. All grass infield, which is very different. The fans in the US and abroad probably aren't used to that. Great breaking ball for strike 3 to Desan as well to end the inning for the Bite. They'll be looking to come up and peg back this 1-run difference, 2-1 Perth.
We'll take a break. We'll see you in a moment.
So we move along now.
So welcome back everyone, and as I mentioned at the start of this telecast with regards to our great sponsors, and we also have another one that has come on board with the ABL in Fielder's Choice, just a wonderful organisation, just massive supporters of this game, and always, wherever you are, if you are in the market, click on the Fielder's Choice website and have a bit of a look. So our great friends based there in Perth, but all throughout Australia, as Cake Bread rolls over on one, gives Bonomi a little bit of fielding practice, routine 4 to 3.
We go back to the top of the lineup to invite our original leadoff man. Shortstop, number 1, Jeremy Braswell.
Creswell takes a first pitch strike. So Anthony Claggett working from the wind-up again and just pounds the outside part of his own. Strike 2. And delivers again. And well ahead of the count, a little bit of a wild and woolly pitch, but one thing for sure, it wasn't going anywhere near the strike zone. And he prepares to come again. D. Sam McGuire right down low, looking for a nice pitch, and he got it. Superb little slider or cutter from Claggett.
Left fielder, number 21, Ben Lodge.
Ben Lodge goes first pitch and hits an infield fly where Michael Ullman takes it very easily. No addition to the score, completion of 3 innings. We will have a break and we'll see you back here real soon.
Pretty cheap.
Welcome back everyone. We are the 10th inning and we are basically a travelling show, so if you were sitting around and thinking how unique it might be to get a game covered and have it there for life, just contact us on our website. Have internet access, we can work with you. So Michael Ullman comes to the plate to face Sunji Kim, who delivers. And Ullman fouls that one onto the parade.
Foul ball. Sounded like the mirror on Jim Manning's Golden Star.
Really good crowd in for a Saturday afternoon matinee.
Sure is, Phil. They're streaming in still, and I noticed a couple of hen shows here, I think.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah, so we may have to move the broadcast booth.
Well, you may have to be doing it by yourself, perhaps, and I'll...
Commentating,
yeah, and I'll go for a bit of a wander. You're very much a very happily married man now, and I'm a very desperate and dateless one, so... So Kim delivers, and Ullman on a nice slider and got him swinging. They roll through with the play just to seal it. So Kim strikes Ullman out.
Mike Longman retired on strikes and throw up to first base by Chris Anderson takes care of the out, and that brings to the plate Josh McGee, the third baseman.
So Josh McGee, the game breaker in the second dig, where he hit a 2-run bomb that's currently given the Heat their 2-1 lead. Strides back to the box, looking for some more action as Kim. And he goes first pitch, so things are working well. The eyes and hands are working well together, even though he's a bit fooled on that change up. But hitting in baseball being potentially the toughest skill in the world, your early at-bats and your timing and just how you feel in there can mean so much to you. You get away to a bit of a start, you find yourself swinging at good pitches for the rest of the night, and if you don't, you can often find yourself all over the shop. So one of the battles of a hitter to keep his mind strong and keep doing what he knows he does best. It's a game based all around statistics. As Kim and McGee gets one up the middle, tough play. Creswell takes it and makes a great play up the middle. Just didn't overplay it, just stayed low with the ball. Very quick release, right up in behind second base. Just a terrific out by Creswell.
Very good play, wasn't it, Spell? Quick release.
He really is as good a shortstop as there is going around. I mean, he's still a growing boy. Nothing that 10 or 20 pound wouldn't hurt to try and stack on him a little bit, but as far as a glove goes, he's got a sweet glove, and he just plays the position with so much assurity, and it's just a pleasure to watch. It's a hard ball to bouncing over the top of second base up the middle to get it, and that ball's lifted long and deep into centre right field, where Paquette takes the catch, retires the Heat, and that's the top of the fourth gone. No change to the score, 2-1. I'll see you in a moment.
2-1 score, we move along now to the bottom of the fourth inning. Adelaide by Cunningham. By number 22, third baseman Stephen Welsh.
So Stephen Welsh leads off the bottom of the fourth for the Adelaide bite, chasing a run to even it up and maybe a couple more to forge ahead. And he's been our hero with a long shot to right field to score our run.
SA Power Networks, foul ball.
people up and in. So 1-2 count on Welsh, and gets one straight down the middle. Just guessed wrongly on that one and strikes out. Most unusual for Welshie. Don't often see him strike out without swinging. He did.
He was thinking about something else.
Yeah. Again, split second stuff in there. No time to bring the old book out and try to read something. You got to make instant choices. It's so much of a game of choices, where we saw last night with Creswell fielding that ball in the hole, and he opted to try to force it too, and it was never on, and it ended up with just I think the type of play that they ended up scoring a run from that.
And you can see something little like that. If something's going to happen in this game, spell being what's required. A good at bat, something that gives us a little break, and then we're back on board. It can happen at any time, one-run game, everyone's on their toes.
It's a Choi from Claggett, sends one high into centre left field. Going back, it's gone. G-Man Choi limping around those bases, but he's gone opposite field and hit a solo blast over centre left field.
I hope the viewers are catching some of this home run shot as well. I've got it on the clock. He only needs to take another 8 seconds and he'll break the record for the slowest home run shot of all time.
And he probably, as he touches, says, but you know what? Who cares? I just hit an opposite field home run. I will take all the time I like. Well, he got some pop, that boy. Just leant on that pitch, he lifted it, and immediately from the fielder's reaction you knew that it was deep. He found Paquette will follow suit here. He's that type of hitter. He's a real free swinger. Been going well. Gets up the middle. Claggett does around the back, Johnny, and somehow knocks it down and picks it back up and gets it over to Ullman. So retires Paquette.
And Cleggett's showing what a good pitcher he is, really. Coming back after being taken deep. First pitch slider and a good, well-located fastball. Forcing Paquette, put a defensive sort of swing on it. And blocking the ball like a hockey goalkeeper.
SA Power Networks, foul ball.
And as we were speaking about spell, the game can change in one pitch, and it certainly has. Tied ball game now. 2-2 in the fourth with 2 outs for the bite. He's going to try and sell that was off his foot, I think. Umpires don't look like they're buying it. I'd say they'll be saying, get some help. Here comes Tony Harris, fresh off an ejection from last weekend. Just get some help there, I would imagine is what he's saying. Pointing down to third base umpire Andy Bell. Andy Bell really doesn't look like he's conducive to being talked to. Hang on, there goes umpire. All of them, get him in.
The question being whether or not that ball was fouled into the foot of
The fact that Perth have left the field would suggest that it's probably not going to happen.
No, and poor old Elliot Hargraves is just wandering off and had a ball piffed at him from the bench to say, hey centre fielder, here's your ball, but he wasn't watching and he nearly wore one. So it's all happening here at Norwood.
I'd love to see this overturned. I'm not sure what they can be discussing for so long. The fact that Suarez is still standing there suggests to me he actually did get it off the foot.
And by the body language of manager Harris, he's had his call downturned, so that's the end of the Adelaide bite. In the bottom of the fourth, they score a run on an opposite field home run, so we've seen most of the score, or all of the score off home runs. We'll have a short break, we'll see you in a moment.
For Josh McGee.
So another tight little ball game going on here. 2 all, top 5. Shortened game here, seven inning game. So we're working our way 2/3 through the game, just about.
It's make or break time of year too, isn't it, Spell? With the top team playing in Perth out of the 15-8 record, and we're still about 10-13, I think.
There's a smash up the middle for a lead-off single to Carter Bell. Yeah, but upon saying that, you know, they are the league leaders, and I know they had a little share of their prize in their last series, but I mean, we're competing strongly against them. Our first 2 starters and first 2 games, here we are with tight ball games, which means we're not doing much wrong. And to compete against these sorts of teams, you've perhaps just got to be doing a little bit more right. But we're around the mark. Very tight. It's Kim just keeping Bell in check.
Might see some short game here, Spurl, I think.
Knowing their history, they've been keen to make things happen, some shape or form.
Looks like he's shaping to come around a little bit. There he goes.
Put
down a beauty.
Great bunt. Great bunt. So Benoni does his job and moves Bell to scoring position with 1 out here, the top of the 5th. The Heat looking, getting a little go-ahead run.
It's old school baseball, isn't it, Spell? Like the 8-hole bunting to get to the 9-hole with a runner on second in the 5th. It's certainly not part of the modern game, I wouldn't have thought, but proof's in the pudding, right? Guy gets a hit.
I think that was so refreshing. We mentioned it last night to see the slash bunt come out in that series against Melbourne, and you know, it was a little bit more old school, but gee, it was exciting, and you know, it takes organisation from your group to all be on the same page. So time and a place for everything, and generally managers at this level and levels above don't use the short game very early in a game, do they? They let it all work its way around. Some do, perhaps, but
you have to watch their hitting rounds and realise that, you know, they practice execution more than anything else. And it's, you know, runner on second, none out, you get them over. Runner on first, maybe you bunt them, and runner on third with none on one, you're trying to either lift the ball or hit it through them. You know, drive them in with the infield back or whatever it may be. And this opportunity's been presented, and that's why the percentages say that's not always the greatest play, is because you still sometimes need to get 2 hits to get this guy in. Albeit they can get it on 1 as well. And this is where a pitcher earns his money also. This would be an interesting play at third, I would have thought.
Ooh.
There we go.
It's one of those little things again, and not, as we're taught from a young man with such a bouncing ball like that to third, just to check the runner at second, just to try to get him moving. Steph just played it immediately, and it was just enough for Carter Bell with some heads up running to swipe third on the throw to first. So again, some just good capitalising by the Heat, and you know, they open up something else and bring the pass ball into play, and that's what they're about. Maximising opportunities, take advantage of their 1%ers.
And here's a situation where we generally focus on the hitter needing to execute with 2 outs and drive the run in, but it's really on the defensive side of it, the pitcher that needs to execute. He's got a free base, so he can be a little more liberal with how he pitches, and a walk not necessarily being the worst result in this situation, with a hit being the worst. And he can nibble a bit and really locate, and he's done a good job with a little squibber. And out of the inning with a chance to go ahead next inning.
Yeah, very good effort there. A bit of PFP by Choi and Kim. A couple of fellow countrymen. They did it well. They retire the Heat. That's the end of the top of the 5th. 2 all is the score. We'll be back with you real soon.
The Adelaide White coming up, the score tied at 2. Adelaide Fighters number 35. Right fielder Angus Roger.
So welcome back everyone, bottom of the 5th. 7, 8, 9 up for the Adelaide bite. There's a little bit of pop in there as Roger check swings on the first pitch and takes a ball. No activity in either bullpen at the moment, so both starters looking set to go the distance. As Roger takes an outside pitch for strike 1. This guy couldn't help but get a safe hit a couple of weeks ago, and he puts a great swing on a breaking pitch there that was only millimetres away from tearing into centre left field. Big powerful young man, Angus Rozier, as he prepares again and gets a pitch inside from Claggett, not too happy with it. Kicks around his landing area. Starting from right up on top of right on the left-hand side of the little pitching plate there, and again he gets a pitch. A little up and a little out, and he was all over it. Just missed again. But still, as a hitter, again, you're pretty happy with a couple of swings like that. It gives you that confidence that your timing's right and you're around the mark. But as you said before, Davo, this guy probably a breaking pitch, or no, he comes again. Waste one up and out.
He's certainly got some power, leading the league in home runs as it stands. He gets in the right spot and it stays hit.
And that ball's driven to centre field. Taken right back on the panel. Another superb on the highlight reel here at Norwood Oval. As the general manager just scurries from alongside of me, because there'll be a little delay here. Wow, they have awarded a home run. They're conferring. Centre fielder Hargraves just I'll let you know as soon as we know something here. The men in blue are still in conference, as no doubt Peter is showing us at the moment. We might have a look at the damage that we've done out at that fence at centre right field, but Elliott's fine. The official call is that it's a double. Manager Harris just going to have a bit of a chat with Andrew Bell, who seemingly has made the decision.
Looks like the top edge of the fence panel is in the
Take an opportunity here. We'll have a short break. People still roll with the vision, but we'll just tune off for a quick moment.
The catcher, number 30, Chris Atkinson.
So we resume here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Score at 2 apiece, none out. Angus Rozier was awarded as that ball and a bit of unlucky hitting. Adamson's hit one up in the middle, one bouncer to Carter Bell, who got Roger caught in a rundown between 2nd and 3rd, and they finally get the tag. So Adamson makes his way to first base. So all not lost. From what could have been to what is, a little disappointing from the Bites' perspective. Josh Cakebread. Prepares, Claggett delivers. Cakebread's popped it up. Carter Bell clearing everyone out. Takes a routine pop fly. Infield catch. So back to the top of the lineup here with the runner on first.
Shortstop, number 1, Jeremy Cresswell.
2 out. Bottom 5. 2 apiece the score. Claggett.
SA Power Networks, foul ball.
Just noticing that Jeremy Creswell just not stepping directly at the pitch, just stepping out just a little bit, and hence just lifting things to right field. Not able to get the plane of the bat correct. Hit line drive singles, which is bread and butter and his strength is. So Claggett again, and he rolls over. And a routine play by Josh McGee from 3rd base, retires the bite and completes the 5th. 2 apiece the score. We'll have a short break. We'll see you in a moment.
Down to the top of the 6th innings, it's a 2-2 tie. First inning coming up.
So welcome back to the 10th inning here. He's actually currently the top of the 6th in this 7-inning game. 2 runs apiece. So who's going to hold their nerve and produce something special as he gets Hargraves swinging through that nicely disguised change-up. And again, Kim from the wind-up as Hargraves calls time. Just a little bit of communique breakdown between Kim and catcher Adamson. There's a hard slider outside that, if it had have worked harder than he thought and taken the outside edge, it would have been a good strikeout, but he was certainly keeping it away from Hargraves, and he prepares again. A nice little pitch downstairs. What was the general adjudication of all of that out there, David?
The fence was good and broken as well, but had to see it from here. I thought
he caught it. Shot up the middle, Hargraves, so from an 0-2 count, get a base hit up the middle. Again, another solid at-bat by the Perth Heat boys.
lead off hit.
For a steak roll, the barbecue is officially open. Check it out, the barbecue is now open. Catcher, number 11, Alan.
D. Sam McGuell with his last at-bat struck out, but in that strikeout he hit a couple of long balls down the right field line, and I think he's eyeing that section of the field off. I think if I get my pitch middle out, I'm looking for that fence. Put my team a couple up. So Kim from the set delivers.
Still no action in the pen spell. Looks like Kim, not sure his pitch count will be abnormally high.
Still very much on restrictions, or?
I wouldn't think so by now. I think he'd be, I think probably in around 100 in this shortened game. You're probably going to do pitch.
Oh, that's yours, Jimmy.
Heavy inside slider that D. Sam had a decent hack at and hit the fascia of the grandstand, and it bounced straight down into the commentary area of the on-field announcers. Shook them up a little bit, and there's a shot, potential double play. Just a little slow. Just a little slow along the ground there, just avoided the double play. Mate here next to me not so happy, thought he might have gone and got that and made something happen, but just waited for it.
Really important force out to make to keep the double play situation and running out of scoring position, and he could have come and got the ball and tagged him and still probably wouldn't have had a play at first, but would have kept the double play, and the guy's not going to be able to run around him. And that's just baseball decision making when the pressure's on, and you got to rehearse those sort of plays before they happen. And I guess maybe it was a little deeper than we thought, so he probably didn't have the chance to come and do that, which we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But an important play in the context of the game, and the top of the sixth being the second last inning of regulation. Basically now will be interesting. Outfielder's still in a pretty deep position. Infielder's still straight up.
With Ullman at the plate. A 1-1 count. 1 out. Top of the sixth. Tied ball game at 2 apiece. Another very tight ball game on our hands here. Going to come down to Watt. That ball banged up the middle. Paquette comes in, takes it well, fires to the plate. Oh, they got him at 2B. And a funny old piece of baseball, but everything that you request by your pitcher to cover his base, and he did. He backed the base up and got the out at second from Ullman, who rounded thinking that it was in no man's land, and got a real shock to see Kim behind the catcher, but the Heat just on that little decision-making error perhaps score a run and go ahead. 6th dig.
And that's basically keep presenting, you're going to give yourself the opportunity, and they capitalise with a base hit straight up the middle. Very good play by Kim to be backing up, and a fantastic throw to second base.
That's a lovely old camp down there in the Heat area. I'm sure Pete will pan across and give you a bit of a look at another blast into centre left field by McGee. Oh, and he legs it. He just gets a little boggle. Paquette makes an error at centre field. And once again, the aggression and the hunger of these Heat lads saw the little opportunity, did not hesitate, and stands up at second base.
Number 7, Matt Kennelly.
And there they are again, just doing everything right as a top team to think they might be a little lazy and will hit long balls and that's all we need to do. They just play totally by the book, they hustle the bases and they make things happen. And they're doing that here in the top of the 6th dig as they have a 3-2 lead, 1-run lead, continue to put men in scoring positions.
And that's just, again, a testament to how well they play. Well, they take risks when they need to, and it pays off. Only it has to be a little bobble, and how do you teach kids? You round first aggressively, if they take their eyes off the ball, you go to second and make them throw you out, and that's exactly what's happening. Won't be far off a visit from pitching coach Warwick Marsh, I'd imagine. With Kim just needing a little breather, probably. Someone up and about to get up in the pen.
Yeah, and Adamson does the right thing and senses the situation. Just goes and have a chat with him. He doesn't throw too many errant pitches, Kim. And that one put a nice little seam brand straight in the middle of Kennelly's back.
Just a little reminder tonight that he was playing today, no doubt.
Shortstop, Carvel.
Still a big, powerful unit. Shrugs it off. All part of the fun, according to him. Really important time for Kim here. He can sense he feels under pressure a little. Doesn't want any more damage than the 1 run that's been scored on some good hitting and aggressive base running by the Heat. From the set, delivers breaking pitch. Superb. Backdoor slider from Kim. So again with 1 out. Bell going 2 for 2 tonight with a 1 off the fist for a base hit and a nice shot up the middle. Very dangerous situation. Runners on first and second. Pivot's playing regulation, looking for a double play. To Bell, he gets a base hit and Welsh just picks. Sorry, there was 2 out, my bad. Force out to 2. Completes the top of the 6th. And the Perth Heat take the lead 3-2. Short break. We'll see you in a moment.
Bad innings, fucking seriously.
You haven't already done so, actually.
Just playing with a lack of energy.
Ben Lodge leading off the bottom of the 6th, and he has homered.
No doubt.
Over left field. Solo shot by the free swinging Ben Lodge.
Up his toes.
And there's baseball in a nutshell. He's had a couple of maybe not so good at-bats. The confidence and the application of the lad. As Nathan said, gets a low fastball that he got down on and just got the barrel right on it and lifted it over left field. Great piece of power hitting by Ben Lodge. It's Claggett. Stephen Welsh has also had some fun tonight, gets an inside pitch, and immediately the pressure seems to have turned, and now it's Claggett. Courtesy of being golfed over the left field fence. Just finds a little outside low fastball to get a strike.
Good spot outside low and away and down. It's really hard to hit, and it nearly bounces.
Whereas Welsh gets one down the middle and just pulls it around the corner. But
he's off.
Bonomi just not using his feet, a little casually getting a flip away, which.
And even that spell. Fantastic hustle by Steph Welsh. Hit a regulation ground ball and sprinted to first base. And he's the best player in this team. If he can do it, I think everyone should do it.
Yeah. Just saying that the Heat might be getting to the bite, boys, are just a little bit under in perhaps what the energy levels should be. And Choi has monstered one. Centre field, gone. 2-run home run to G-Man Choi's second for the night.
And he's on the clock again.
Oh, he is, and I tell you what, those massive thighs are not moving very quickly.
It's official. This is now the slowest home run shot in ABL history. I think he's actually stopped. Woo! And yes, folks, he made it.
I'll tell you what, effortless. That ball just springs off of this guy's bat. It's, you know, you often look and he might not have got it, but again, it's as soon as you saw Hargraves, just saw his numbers just flying back to the fence, it was gone off the bat, and the Bite are rallying here in the bottom of the 6th.
Will Kittredge get up in the pen? Yes, our closer has made his way to the pen.
Claggett evens the count at 1-1. And that little thing again by Steph Welsh hustling it up, and Benoni just not quite using his feet and getting a good throw off, and Drew Ullman off the bag, got safe, and the next guy hits the first pitch bomb over centre field. So for a 2-run shot, we'll just give a 5-3 lead here in the bottom of the 6th, and still going with none out. And Paquette strikes out.
Designated hitter number 27, Dave Suarez.
My crystal ball's working well. This is the sort of time that Suarez has come into action, and the team are up and pumping a little bit. Base hit into centre right. He takes a pitch right down the middle for ball 1.
Oh, you got your crystal ball out there, Shabelle. It's race 8 in Flemington next, mate. You haven't got a tip for us?
Ooh, is he? Just goes a little inside out. Foul ball.
Foul ball. Yours to keep.
Certainly hasn't been his night just yet, but could be his at bat. He may well do as you've suggested, Spell. Looks like they're coming inside, fighting it off.
Ullman takes a routine little pop, and my crystal ball just shattered. Shattered in my dreams.
Number 35, right fielder Angus Rocha.
The 2 out, bottom 6. Tide have taken a 5-3 lead. Angus Rocha, the man of the controversy in the previous inning where he led off with what might have appeared a home run, and there's a homer over left field. No, he just hasn't quite got it. Sorry to excite myself. He pops up, pops out to left field. We'll have a short break. The Bite take the lead 5-3. We'll be back. They're 3 outs away from securing a good victory against the Heat. We'll see you in a moment.
So the White take a 5-3 lead now into the 7th innings.
So welcome back, everyone. It's money time for the Adelaide Bite. 3 outs away from securing a victory against the Perth Heat that have been very elusive, Nathan.
They certainly have. I think our record of late's been less than ordinary, and our ability to come back in this game's been fantastic. Been behind 3 separate times, and keep on plugging back, tying it up, and going ahead with G-Man Choi's massive home run to dead centre field. And on comes our closer, Andrew Kittredge, to get the job done. And you've got to keep it simple when you're a closer. Throw strikes as hard as you can and get that first out, I guess.
Yeah, look, he hasn't had a huge amount of opportunities, and he's been sprinkling away with some digs here and there. He looks a likely tight, but just hasn't quite come out and gone bang, bang, bang just yet. So we're all still in a little bit of anticipation for Andrew, and hoping tonight might be the night against these league leaders with a couple of runs up his sleeve. See if he can do what Nathan's requested and come out and fire strikes. And that ball gets torn around the corner, but Choi is just on fire. Doesn't matter where he is at the moment. Just a superb play by the G-Man Choi. Flat out, great field, and worked a bit more PFP with his pitcher. And got the most important first out from number 8 hitter, Bonomi, who just tore that one around the corner.
Hard hit ball too, wasn't it? And Kittredge has had a history of that, and he's been getting out of jail and getting the job done whilst not being lights out, as we say. And that's another way that happens is, you know, hard hit ball and you're out.
Two runs is a long way back for an offensive team. See, there a lot of hitting, and there's a good breaking pitch from Kittredge. Big fella's on fire tonight. Just jumped out of the blocks, throwing strikes, and comes again, another breaking pitch. Nicely located, down and in. If there was any action, it wouldn't have been solid action from the hitter. So Kittredge working from the set. Hammers and gets one, and it just line driven through second base. He had a crack at it, but would have been another great play, but it's a single base hit to number 9, Sam Shipway.
And another hard hit ball spell, interestingly enough. So now they're a chance to 1 runner on, 2 runs down to tie it with any swing of the bat. Speedy Anderson at the plate. Be looking for a hard hit ball right at one of the middle infielders, I'd imagine. Strike 1. Getting ahead's always good. A little bit too close on that last 0-2 count, I would have thought, after giving up a swing like that. Strikes yet again on lead-off hitter Anderson. Should play on first. Kittredge trying to get a ground ball. Second and possibly third out. Good breaking ball, didn't want to nibble.
Didn't want to nibble. It's always a tense time, so it was a very tempting pitch, but some good hitting by Anderson. That's why he's a lead-off hitter. Experienced, doesn't swing at poor pitches. Kittredge again. Gets one down the middle. Let's have a bit of a look through Sonji Kim's night. The 6 innings pitched, 8 hits, a walk, hit pitch ball, 3 Ks, 3 runs. Another solid effort by the bite starter. And let's hope that they get the win here. We stay long enough.
Let's hope so. Kittredge is in for the save, so that's what he's trying to do, is save Kim's win. Never easy, mate. Last 3 outs of the game.
Absolutely. Especially with such a confident side like the Heat, who are not going to go down without a fight. So If you beat this team, you've got to go the distance and make your outs, and that's the challenge in front of the Adelaide Bite right now. It's Kittredge. Big right-hander. Delivers. Change up. Ball's flowing out to right field. Fortunately, 3 yards right of the home run foul pole there. So it's a tense old situation out there, certainly for the Bite. Every win an absolute must. It's Kittredge a breaking pitch, and again Anderson in a little bit of an ugly swing, but just protecting and gutsing it out. Gets a tip of the bat on it to stay alive. Nothing's going to come easy. If you want it, you earn it. Show a touch of class, and that's what the Bite are looking to do. Kittredge again, and gets a breaking pitch through him. Big strikeout for Andrew Kittredge. Had to work hard for it, and he got his result.
Just great baseball all-round spell. A fantastic battle by Anderson, and an equally good pitch by Kittredge to bring up 2 outs, and brings up Elliot Hargraves. We got a base hit up the middle last time to 2 outs to put them ahead. Speedy centre fielder again up to the plate in a crucial situation.
So 2 outs, top of the 7th. Bite leading at 5-3. Heat have a runner on first. And he takes the first pitch. Curveball that didn't miss by too much. Outfielders playing way back, just looking to catch anything, and that ball's hit to left field. Ben Lodge slightly misjudges it, claims the catch, and that's all over here. He hid the ball out there at left field and said, "Yeah, baby, I got it." And the Bite boys are happy. We take a 5-3 win in this game 2 of the 4-game series to tie it up 1 apiece. We'll have about an hour's break, and we'll be back here at 7 o'clock for game 3. I thank Nathan. I'm sure he's got some further duties to do, but if we happen to see him again, he's always welcome. So thanks, Davo.
Great being here, Spell, and what a fantastic game for the Bite, and the Bite fans. Great support here and obviously online. So let's look to tie the series up. Look to go ahead the next game with, I think, Paul Mildren on the mound, and you guys are doing a fantastic job.